everyone, I'm filming again at Westdean Gardens, where I hope it's okay me doing another video here. This is the second time I've been to Westdean Gardens this week, because the weather is so nice. The weather's really nice at the moment, as you can see. It's perfect, glorious sunshine. It's lovely 20th of April today, I'm filming, Friday the 20th of April, and I'm walking up the hill. This is the second time I'm doing a circuit this week. It's been quite a busy week this week, although as I explained in my previous video last week, I gave up on the Seek project, and I did explain to them why I couldn't do it. I explained to my work aid advisor why I couldn't do it. He was very understanding as to why I couldn't do it. So that was good. Just thought it'd be too much for me, as I explained in my previous video. So on Wednesday, when I was the day, because if I'd done a Seek project, it would have covered Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It would have involved being at a university with a group of people, which was making me very anxious because I haven't been in education for like years. So on Wednesday instead, I decided to go to Portsmouth for the day. I went to Portsmouth Harbour. I got the train. This was something that I've been loosely planning on doing for a little while. And because it was such a nice day on Wednesday, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. Normally I have support on Wednesday, but because I was planning on doing the Seek project, which then I didn't do in the end, I ended up cancelling support, and my support worker couldn't reinstate that support because it was too little notice. So that meant I had a sort of a space of time, if you like, where I felt, you know, I should be doing something. So I decided to go to Portsmouth instead, which I'm really glad I did, and I had a really good time there. As you know, it's not easy for me to go to new places. I do get very anxious, but you have to I'm walking up a hill now. I have to sort of fight past that fear and do it anyway. A bit like what I'm doing now, walking up this hill, is causing me a little bit of anxiety. You know, I am feeling a little bit anxious. Whew. Yeah, because I don't do this as often. It's the second time I'm doing this week, that's why I'm filming it. Actually filming it helps my anxiety, fun enough, so maybe every time I come here, if you don't mind, I should do a video. Not that I come here that often, so there won't be too many videos. I will be doing a sit-down video as well, by the way. I might be doing you might be getting 3 videos from me this week. Bonus! Because I do have quite a lot to say on some other things. So I went to Portsmouth on Wednesday, and I walked from Portsmouth Harbour all the way to Southsea Castle. Southsea Castle is one of the main defences along the south coast. It was built by Henry VIII. Well, not built by him, but he was heavily involved in designing it, you know. During the time of Henry VIII, it was one of his main defences, if you like, along the south coast. And now it's just open to the public from March onwards. Public are given free admission. So I walked around the walls of Southsea Castle, got some great views over the Solent. Because of my dog phobia as well, it's always a bit stressful walking along the seafront because there's lots of dogs off leads. So I did a bit of a detour going just to save my anxiety. Coming back I did walk along the seafront, but I was careful to, you know, just to be mindful, I guess, of my levels of stress and not to do too much, so I did avoid the dogs. But being on top of Southsea Castle is good because dogs have to be on leads around there, so that's good, and you get unspoiled access to the sea. So I did lots of walking, walked back, had some tea down at the dockyards, and got the train back, and it was a really good day. Very sunny, Lovely sunshine. It was a little bit anxiety-provoking walking there. I think because I do find it when it's really bright sunshine, it kind of reflects off the cars, and the cars all become really glittery and light, and that can be a bit overwhelming for me. I know some people would wear sunglasses as a way of dealing with that. I do have a pair of sunglasses, but I find them quite uncomfortable to wear, and they can be a bit disorientating wearing them. So I don't really wear sunglasses. I just have to kind of half shut my eyes like that. But it is a little bit stressful sometimes when it's too bright. In the countryside it's not so bad because it's the reflections of cars and things. They make me feel a bit overwhelmed. So that made me a bit stressed. But I still did it, despite the fact at one point I was thinking, oh God, I feel really stressed. But I still managed it. So hey, that's really good. And then, to finish it off, yesterday I had the results for my cognitive testing. You might not know this because I don't think I've actually talked about this before on video. But back in February, I took the adult version of the Gradual Intelligence test. It was like proper cognitive testing because I'd last had this done when I was a child, when I was about 10 years old, 9-10 years old, and which had highlighted all my difficulties, my strengths and weaknesses, and you know, was trying to get the school to help me, you know, give me support, special educational kind of support and stuff, which didn't really, I only got a really small amount of that, not anywhere near what they were saying I should have, and that's a whole other story, yeah. But I really wanted to have a more up-to-date report, up-to-date assessment, just to help me understand myself a bit better, really. So I had that back in February, and I got the results yesterday down at the clinic. It was really interesting. I'm going to get the report sent to me in the post, and when I do, I might do a video on that. Anyhow, the results of the assessment were, I was blown away, really. My verbal IQ is like, oh my God. I don't want to boast about it. I know boasting isn't good, and I don't, you know, I should be humble about it, really. But the thing is, I'm not really that good at anything in my life, or I don't feel like I'm that good at anything. So to have, for once, something that I am actually really good at, it's just really nice. So do forgive me if I come across as a bit bragging about it. I don't mean to. It's just, and I don't really believe the IQ really measures what they say it measures, you know, it's just an indicator. You know, it's not like point scoring or anything really. You know, I don't, you know, I think that someone who gets an average IQ in an IQ test, you know, could still be very, very, very intelligent in the real world, and just because you get a high score on an IQ test doesn't necessarily mean that in the real world you're as intelligent as all that. So with that caveat aside, but still, it was nice to get a high score. Yay! I just like the fact I got a high score. So yeah, my verbal IQ, and I really can't believe it's that high, but it is, was between 138 and 144. That's my verbal IQ. I was expecting my score to be quite high verbally, because verbal is my strength. Language, words. You know, I'm good at learning foreign languages. Hello, sheep. And yeah, and all those things come quite easily for me. You know, words, language, word definitions. She did say I'm a bit like a dictionary, which I think is true. Yeah, give me a word, most words, and I might be able to give you a definition, and if I haven't heard it before and then you tell me a definition, it will probably stay in my memory somewhere to be unearthed at a later date. I'm good at remembering words. So that was really nice. However, I don't have a full-scale IQ, because although my verbal IQ is in the top 2% of the population, which is ridiculously high, my non-verbal IQ, which measures sort of spatial awareness, problem solving, all the non-verbal practical things really, is only between, I think it was, I'd have to double check this, I don't have the report in front of me, so I might be out a bit, but it's, if my memory serves me correctly, it was something like 66 to 77, something like that, which is kind of like borderline pretty much in the, well, it's sort of straddling, it's just above, well, yeah, it kind of is borderline, really. I mean, it's ridiculously low in terms of, it's very, very low. It's below average, significantly below average. So it was interesting to see that on the graph. You know, my verbal IQ, which is right at the very top of the graph, and then my non-verbal IQ, which is right at the very bottom of the graph. So it's kind of like I have, on the one hand, I'm gifted verbally, but on the other hand, I'm very disabled non-verbally. So I could talk for England, and I could use really long words, and people might think I'm really intelligent just based upon what I could say. But when it comes down to actual practice, you know, working with other people, multitasking, all those sort of things, you know, you get people doing a work environment, really struggle with, and that has been the story of my life, really. The other, so it was like looking at really like a picture of a seesaw, but I'll show you the graph and I get it, it's quite interesting. The other aspect, she said, obviously that I have that I have real difficulties in, is that I have really, really poor, very slow processing speed. My processing speed is really slow. And that is not really a surprise to me, but but it's a good way of, because I don't think I really had the words before to like properly explain why I find things difficult. And a lot of it's down to the fact that I have really slow processing speed. So although verbally I'm like in the gifted range in terms of my intellect, I can't really it's hard for people to see that intelligence necessarily in the real world, because I can be really slow at kind of processing things, and when people talk, I don't always automatically make sense of what they're saying. So, hello, beautiful. Oh, hello. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just some lambs there. But yeah, I can't always make sense of what people are saying to me fast enough, and therefore I often want them to repeat themselves, but in reality I don't often ask them to repeat themselves because I don't want them to think I'm stupid or something. So sometimes I just have to accept I'm not always going to understand what people are saying, or just take in parts of what they're saying. When it's written down, and if it's explained enough times, I will grasp it very well, but it has to be reiterated quite a few times, written down, you know, over-explained, and people aren't always willing to do that, or they can lose patience. And also she said that because this IQ test was done in a kind of very calm, relatively quiet environment, in the real world, it's likely that my processing might even be slower. So although it's rich, it could even think even lower than that, so that is a real disability.